Oh well. Hi, I started to work on the heads. As you know, they need a rebuild. The valves are leaking. And that's why right now I disassemble everything. If you take a look here, on this head the valves and the springs are still in. And on this head here, I already took out the valves and the spring. And I need to say, everything doesn't look too bad. I don't see, I see the reason why it was leaking. The seats are really dirty. And also the valves here, yeah, they are just dirty, and that's why they was leaking for sure. So what I will do now, I will disassemble this head and then clean everything up, and then I need to do this part new, grinding or sanding, and also putting new valves in it, sanding them, and yeah, at the end put everything together, and then we have a pair of really nice heads here. I'm back in the garage with my heads here, and I was working full speed on them, and I completely forgot to make videos, and I'm very sad about this because it was an interesting work. But in conclusion, I can tell you I have new paint on the heads. My friend was repainting them. It's a GM color. I need to say it looks different on the video, like in nature. It's some kind of green blue, and on the video it looks just blue. But I think it just looks awesome. It will be great to have them back in. And the other thing, I replaced basically everything. So I took out the valves, and then I replaced the springs. I replaced the seals on every valve, of course. I grinded every hole here, that the surface is great again, and then put in new valves too. And so everything is nice and clean, and I had to go to a specialist who sand this surface here, because it was not straight anymore, like this. Here it was not straight anymore, and that's why they had to be straight sanded, or how to say, I don't know. The next thing I will do is put everything, what means everything? Put the the exhaust manifold back on, and after that I will reinstall the heads in my car. Yeah, and I will be very happy about that. I'm right before installing the heads. That will be a pain in the ass. They are heavy as shit. They are pure iron. But before I do that, I want to show you something on the engine. Like you saw already, I had to recut all the threads here for the cylinder head bolts. This one's this. The reason it was difficult to screw the bolts back in. There was a bit of rust, it was a bit of dirt, maybe the threads was not very clean from factory, I don't know. I just was recutting everything and now the bolts go back in nice and easily. The next thing I did, cleaning up this surface from the old cylinder head gasket and sanding everything a bit, that all the dirt is gone and it's nice and clean. I know there are some darker parts here, but it's just in the material. It's not dirt, it's all good, it's just in the material. I also cleaned up the combustion chambers, that there is no dirt in it, oiling everything a bit. And yeah, this engine is ready to get his heads back. About the heads, I was telling you already some stuff about them. Just one note, I also had to recut all the threads for this screws here. I don't know why, but it was not possible to put this bolt back in. I don't know if it's because the thread was not clean from factory, or maybe there's a lot of heat here. I don't know, but I really had to recut to reinstall the exhaust manifold. But now they are back on and they are ready to go back in the car. The last thing I want to show you is I have some upgraded cylinder head gaskets now from TTA Performance. Why upgraded? Let's show you that on the engine. As the most of you know, all the magic happens here in this combustion chamber. The pistons goes up and down, it sucks some fuel and air, and then there is some explosion and it gets some power out of that, and that's why there's a lot of heat here. And that's also why you have these channels here, and there is coolant everywhere around. Maybe we can take a look. Yeah, right here there's some coolant, and these channels go also to the heads. If you like, take a look to the heads. You also have these channels here. that is one, that is one, that is one, and here you also have a channel. So, but if you take a look to the original head gasket, you will see that you see the channels here, but 3 of these ports are closed. You just have one opening here on this cylinder, also here. This one is closed, this one is closed. You just have this opening. On this one you have that opening and the small one here. The reason why they did that is because of fuel economy. So the coolant has not a big flow here and a lot of temperature stays in the cylinder head. That means you can go more efficient, with better fuel economy. But the problem is you have so much heat that you cannot go with a lot of horsepower. That's why we have now this upgraded head gasket. And if you see here the difference, you have one opening on that cylinder and here you have 4 openings even. On the outer ones you have 2 openings each. Here you have 3 openings and 4 openings. You just have a much better flow for the coolant, and that means the head will be cooler, which means you can go with more boost, which means you can go with millions of horsepower. So that's why it gets this upgraded head gaskets. I will reinstall the heads now and yeah, let's start.
Rausgeschaut, nicht gut. Das macht im Fall gar
Gell, der Käse ist schon noch schnell. Ja, jetzt. Round 1. Stage 2. Just want to show you something. I'm in the process to taking out the camshaft, and everybody say on the American cars everything is so easy and you have a lot of space. So let's take a look. So the cam is out until like this. It's great, huh? Great. Yeah, great. Oh. That much is missing. So I need to, I think, to loosen the bracket or something. Hey, also wirklich.